Line call chaos. There's one sound in tennis that makes every player flinch. Not the crowd, not the serve, just one word, out. Sometimes it's the umpire, sometimes it's your opponent, and that's when the mind games begin. Before Hawkeye, everything was judged by eye. Players argued, gestured, even yelled before the umpire could react. If you shouted out fast enough sometimes, they believed you. Not cheating, just helping the referee. Guys like Fabio Fognini turned it into art. He'd stop mid-rally, claiming the ball landed on another planet. Nick Kyrgios, he doesn't argue, he performs. He turns every dispute into a one-man show. And the crazy part? The louder you sound, the more people believe you're right. But even with technology, the chaos never ended. Now players use challenges as tactical pauses. You lose a big point? No problem. Just say, challenge. Take a few seconds. Make your opponent think about it. Was it in? Was it out? Boom, rhythm broken. The lines aren't just paint on the court, they're a battlefield. And in tennis, it's not about who sees better, it's about who convinces better. Phantom bathroom break. You've just lost a set. Your serve's gone, your rhythm's dead, and your opponent looks untouchable. So what do? Simple, you disappear. Welcome to tennis's oldest legal cheat, the bathroom break. Technically, you're allowed one per match, but no one ever said when or how long it can last. You leave the court to freshen up, but what you're really doing is pressing reset on your brain, your nerves, and your opponent's momentum. Sometimes it's pure genius. Remember Tsitsipas? Medvedev lost it at the US Open, yelling at the umpire, "He's gone again, 10 minutes." Every time. The crowd booed. Tsitsipas smiled. He knew exactly what he was doing. It wasn't about the bathroom, it was about control. You're not breaking rules, you're bending time. And in tennis, that's everything, because 5 quiet minutes off court can turn a beating into a comeback. The injury timeout reset. It always happens at the same time. You're crushing your opponent, momentum's yours, and suddenly, they're hurt. A twisted ankle, a sore shoulder, a mysterious cramp. Trainers rush in. The crowd starts whispering. And just like that, your rhythm's gone. Welcome to the injury timeout reset. It's not technically cheating, but it might be the smartest psychological trick in the game. Players use it when things are slipping away. They call the trainer, sit down, breathe, and make you wait. You cool off, your adrenaline fades, and when play resumes, they're reborn, miraculously healed, suddenly unstoppable. We've seen it all before. Nadal grimacing 1 minute, sprinting the next. Djokovic clutching his leg, then hitting aces right after. Sometimes it's real, but sometimes it's theater. Because here's the truth. In tennis, momentum is oxygen, and when you can't win the point, you win the pause. The scoreboard says it's still 2-1, but mentally, the match just flipped. The ball toss trick. You've seen it 1,000 times. The player stands at the line, tosses the ball, catches it, tosses again, catches it, and again. Looks nervous, right? Wrong. That's a weapon. Sometimes the toss really is bad, but most of the time it's deliberate. A tiny pause, perfectly placed, just long enough to break the rhythm of the returner. Your opponent's locked in, ready to attack, then suddenly, you stop. The whole point resets. Their focus fades, and your heartbeat slows down. It's subtle, but deadly, especially on break points or tie breaks. When every breath feels heavy, that fake toss buys you time. Time to breathe, time to think, time to steal back control. Djokovic does it like a surgeon. Medvedev like a chess player. They don't rush, they dictate. Because in tennis, rhythm is everything. And if you control the tempo, you control the match. The serve delay ritual. In tennis, everything runs on rhythm. But some players, they've turned slowing down into an art form. They don't just prepare to serve, they perform. 25 seconds on the clock? For them, that's not a limit, that's a stage. Look at Nadal. The towel only after he fixes his hair. Then the nose, then the shorts. Every single time, in the same order. It's not a habit, it's armor. While he goes through the ritual, his opponent waits. And the longer he waits, the hotter he burns. The rhythm fades, the focus slips, and then the serve. Cold. Precise, like time itself belongs to him. Some call it cheating, but really, it's psychology. If you can control time, you can control the match. That's the whole secret. The ritual isn't just for the server, it's to break the patience of the one across the net. The coaching signal game. Once upon a time, coaching during a match was the ultimate sin. The player must think for himself. That was the rule, but times have changed. Now it's technically allowed, just not in the way you think. Yes, coaches can talk to players, but there are no headsets, no microphones, just eye contact and coded signals. A clap at the right moment, a nod, a towel raised in the air, a subtle gesture that looks meaningless unless you know the code. Watch closely and you'll see it everywhere. Djokovic's box, Sinner's team, Swiatek's coach, all using tiny, invisible cues. One glance and the entire game plan shifts. It's part chess, part espionage, and the line between legal advice and covert coaching is paper thin. Is that a signal or just a reaction? No one can ever prove it. Umpires look away, cameras can't catch intent. But make no mistake, in a sport where every rally matters, sometimes one look from the stands is enough to change everything. The mind mirror. Sometimes the best way to beat your opponent isn't by hitting harder, it's by getting inside their head. Welcome to the mind mirror. A trick so subtle, most fans never notice it, but players feel it instantly. It's when you start to mirror your opponent, their pace, their timing, their rituals. They grab a towel, you grab yours. They slow down the serve, you slow it even more. Soon, they're not just playing against you, they're playing against themselves. And that's where the chaos begins. Djokovic is the master of this art. He syncs with his opponent's rhythm, then suddenly breaks it in half like flipping a mental switch. One stare, one fake pause, and control shifts without a single shot being hit. Kyrgios does it differently. He mocks, he mimics. He'll copy your body language, your reactions, even your frustration. And before you know it, you've stopped thinking about tennis and started thinking about him. It's not dirty, it's psychological warfare. No rule is broken, but the message is clear. I know exactly what you're feeling, and I'm going to make you hate it. The forgotten towel. You've seen it 100 times. A player finishes a quick rally, maybe just 3 shots, and still walks all the way back to grab the towel. Every single point. It looks harmless, but it's not. The towel routine isn't always about sweat. It's about time. A way to reset the rhythm, slow things down, and make the opponent wait just a few seconds longer. Sometimes it's pure tactics. You just hit a winner, your opponent walks away, wipes their face, ties their shoes, anything to cool your momentum. They're not cleaning up, they're regrouping. Even a 5-second pause can flip the mental balance. You go from fired up to frustrated, from rhythm to restlessness. The towel is the perfect disguise, a legal excuse for a mental timeout. And in tennis, where every second counts, the smartest players know exactly when to forget it. The crowd control trick. In tennis, the crowd isn't just background noise. It's energy, it's pressure. It's the invisible force that can turn a champion into a nervous wreck. And some players, they've learned to use it. They don't just play their opponent, they play the entire arena. Nick Kyrgios is the master of chaos. He'll stop mid-match, point at a fan, and yell, "He was talking during my serve." Boom. Game paused. Rhythm gone. The opponent's focus? Completely shattered. The crowd starts booing, shouting, laughing, and Kyrgios feeds off all of it. Djokovic does it differently. He connects. He looks at the crowd, raises his arms, and turns the noise into his ritual. If they cheer him, he gives them a show. If they boo, he feeds on that energy even more. Love him or hate him, he controls the temperature of the entire stadium. Zverev's approach is colder. When the crowd boos, he smiles. When they boo his opponent, he waits. The louder the chaos, the calmer he becomes. That's what makes this trick so powerful. It's not about charisma, it's about control. When the stadium roars, and you decide how it roars, you've already won half the match. Because at that point, it's no longer just tennis, it's theater. And the crowd, it's part of your performance. The racket switch scam. Sometimes, the most dangerous pause is the one that looks completely innocent. A player raises his hand, looks at the umpire and says, "Hold on, I need to change my racket." Seems harmless, right? But it's not about the strings, it's about the rhythm. You've just won a long rally. You're locked in, ready to serve, and suddenly, everything stops. Your opponent walks to his bag, unzips it slowly, picks a racket, checks the grip, the tension, the balance, and you just stand there, waiting, feeling your momentum slip away. It's completely legal and completely brilliant. Djokovic does this to perfection. When the match starts slipping, he'll check his strings right when he needs a mental reset. Nadal too, every switch, every pause, executed with surgical precision. Sometimes, it's not even about the racket. It's about breathing, erasing the last few mistakes, reclaiming control over the match and over you. Meanwhile, the opponent is boiling inside. He knows what just happened. He knows he's been frozen, but there's nothing he can do. That's why this trick is genius. It's legal, it's quiet, and it works every single time. The Ballboy distraction. In tennis, every second between points is a battlefield, and one of the quietest but most effective tricks is the Ballboy distraction. The server stands still, waiting. The ball comes, but not quite right. He raises his hand. No, not that one. Another. Yeah, that one. It looks innocent, just a player picking his favorite ball. But in reality, he's stealing time. He's breaking rhythm. He's cooling the opponent down one bounce at a time. Everything is perfectly legal. No rule is broken. But every extra toss from the Ballboy buys 3 more seconds of silence. 3 more seconds to throw the other player off balance. Medvedev and Djokovic do this with precision, calm, calculated, invisible. Kyrgios, though, he turns it into theater. One stare, one sigh, one look toward the stands, and suddenly, everyone feels the tension. Then comes the serve. And by the time the opponent's ready, he's already out of rhythm. Because tennis isn't just about the rallies, it's about everything that happens before them. The intimidation stare. In tennis, you can't hit your opponent, but you can make them feel like you already did. This is the stare, the oldest, simplest, and most powerful weapon in the game. Some players use it to claim dominance. Serena Williams mastered it. One look across the net, and you knew. She didn't just want to win. She was saying, "You're in my world now, and there's no way out." Medvedev's version is colder. He doesn't yell. He doesn't move. He just looks. Calm, still, icy. And somehow, that silence hits harder than any scream. It's like he's saying, "You might win a rally, but not this space between us." Kyrgios is the opposite. His stare comes with fire, the shouts, the "come on," the chest-pounding energy that turns the court into a stage. It's emotional chaos, and he thrives in it. While his opponent, they get dragged right into the storm. Sabalenka does it differently again. It's not anger, it's raw power. After every point, she looks straight through her opponent, eyes locked, fearless. And in that moment, you realize she's not just playing tennis, she's fighting for territory. The beauty of this trick? It's completely legal. You can't call a warning on confidence, but you can lose your focus to it, because sometimes the match is lost, not in the rally, but in the silence between 2 stares. The strategic argument. In tennis, arguing with the umpire isn't always emotion. Sometimes it's strategy. You see a player yelling, waving his arms, looking furious, but he's not losing control. He's buying time. That pause isn't about being right. It's about breaking rhythm, resetting the tempo, making the opponent cool off and lose focus. Watch Djokovic. He doesn't explode. He walks up to the chair, calm but sharp, and says something like, "You have something against me?" And just like that, everything stops. The crowd buzzes. The opponent waits. And Novak? He's already rebooting. Kyrgios does it louder. For him, it's theater. Shouting, sarcasm, clapping at the umpire, all part of the act. But the outcome is the same. Momentum gone. Attention scattered, and within a minute, he's composed again while his opponent is fuming. And then there's Fognini, a true artist of the argument. He'll fight over a line call only he saw, stall for a full minute, and in that short time, the entire match energy shifts. To the crowd, it's drama. To the players, it's a weapon. Because sometimes, to take control, you don't need to win a point, you just need to win time. The silent reset. The most dangerous trick is the one that doesn't look like a trick at all. The player does nothing, just stands there, looks at the racket, the court, one spot, and says nothing. No yelling, no emotion. But in that silence, something happens. He's resetting, and his opponent starts to lose patience. Medvedev is the master of this. He'll freeze on the baseline, completely still, no sound, no movement. And suddenly, you have no idea, is he ready or is he waiting? Your heart rate spikes, your focus slips. Federer used silence differently. He'd pause, smile, Take a moment and somehow make his opponent feel small. Silence in tennis is terrifying because when there's no sound, it's just you and your thoughts. And if your opponent controls that pause, he's already inside your head. Sometimes the smartest move is to do absolutely nothing. The ultimate psychological trap. The smartest trick isn't hitting harder, it's making your opponent believe you're harmless. You limp, you breathe heavy, you lower your shoulders, stare at the ground, act broken, and then, 2 games later, you move again. Same speed, same power, only now your opponent is relaxed off guard. This isn't just a trick, it's a trap. You create the illusion of weakness, then you punish the trust. Djokovic is a master of this. At the 2021 Australian Open, he looked spent, almost immobile, and hours later he was flying across the court, winning the title. Nadal does it his own way. He suffers and every match limps, clutches his leg but never quits. Opponents think he's on the edge. Then he hits back and it feels like the pain made him stronger. This is the highest form of psychological warfare. You're not just playing tennis, you're playing perception. You make the other player believe something that isn't true, and once they stop believing in you, you've already won.